Hello, everybody. Welcome to Soul Pet. Looks like we are live. Great to see you all here. Okay, ready for another Monday night. So happy to see all of you guys. You've reached Soul Pet. We're the live stream that is dedicated to all of those who are coping with the loss of an animal companion, the loss of a soul pet, and all of us here have been through that type of loss in one way or another. We're all on a different part of this journey, and you are welcome here. Whether this is something that's years old, just yesterday, something for which you may be experiencing anticipatory grief, you are welcome here and you will be held. So welcome to Soul Pet. My name is Elaine. I'm the Animal Reiki Lady, and I'm an animal chaplain, an animal Reiki master, animal medium, everything to do with animals, especially as they are at the Rainbow Bridge. And this channel offers messages of hope and healing from our beautiful animals that I call the Animal Collective, all of the beautiful animals that you have shared with me and allowed me to share messages from with you. Tonight we are going to we're doing part 2, the story of Noah, and I think next week might even be part 3, but we're going to continue our discussion about Noah and the lessons that we've learned from him. Noah is my grand dog who crossed the Rainbow Bridge 2 days after Christmas. And tonight we're going to talk about a topic that is near and dear to many hearts, and that is what happens with the unexpected passing of an animal companion when it's not something you're prepared for. But we'll get to that in just a minute. First, I like to let everybody know that this is a conversation. So it's a live stream, and we have a wonderful family of Soul Pet members. And I love to say hello to all of them first, and I can already see that there are some questions. And then once I say hello to them, I like to greet everybody who might be watching. So if you are watching and you're not a Soul Pet member yet, you're welcome, invited to join, but that's not required. You are more than welcome to share your name, to say hello, to share something about your animal companion. And if you happen to be going through a recent passing of an animal companion to the Rainbow Bridge, know that you will receive an instant virtual hug from this entire community because we have all been through this journey. My Lucy and Winston both crossed within a week of each other back in 2020. Jack crossed not only 18 months later. And now I have a beautiful gypsy who lives with me. We are all on a different journey, and we welcome you here and will embrace you and support you without judgment here. Okay, so let's say hello to everybody. This is a conversation. I do read comments as frequently as I can. I sometimes miss them. They scroll by pretty fast, but I like to keep everybody engaged. So feel free to ask questions. Feel free to comment, share stories, and we're going to start with saying hello to everybody. I love to welcome all of my beautiful channel members, and thank you so much for all of your support. And then we go back and say hello to everybody else who's joining us live and says hello, because you guys you're the sole reason we have this beautiful channel. And we just hit 10,000 subscribers last Monday. It was like 2 minutes before the class started. Super exciting. And I can't wait to continue to see how this grows, sending messages of hope and healing after pet loss. So Pat is going to be watching us on the replay. As always, Pat, thanks for kicking us off. You have some great questions here. We are going to get to those in just a moment because there's 1 or 2 here. I was just about to start talking about veterinarians who are offering not just Reiki, but in-home veterinarians with specialized care for end of life. We're going to talk about that in just a second because I'm going to do an interview. Okay, so let's say hello to Pat. We said hello to Pat. Welcome, Anne. Great to see you here. Thanks for joining as a Soul Pet member. And Kali, great to see you as always. Sherry, hello, hello. Who else have we got here? Z, great to have you here. There's Anne saying good evening. Warms my heart to join everyone. Yeah, and we are happy to have you here. Also, Jody, hello, hello. Gina, hello also. Sharon and Kathy H. Do you prefer Kat? I'm not sure. You just let me know. Let's see, who else am I saying hello to? Oh, hello, Aaron. Gotta say hello to you, buddy. It is cried today, but I tried to understand the truth and that they still live on, all of our loved ones. I think we all shed a tear every now and again. And we'll come back to that, Aaron. We are going to come back to that as I talk about my beautiful grand dog, Noah, who crossed unexpectedly shortly after Christmas. Teresa, great to see you too, hun. All right, let's go on. Lisa, welcome. Happy, what was I going to say? I was about to say like happy birthday or something. I don't know where that was coming from. Lisa, it's good to see you. Wouldn't it be a shocker if it was your birthday? I said hello to Colleen and Sharon and Ann. All right, and as others join, I'm going to say hello. So it is great to see you guys. We are going to start with some questions. Pat had some really interesting questions. How is my end-of-life pet doula training coming? So I am already an end-of-life doula. We're going to talk about that tonight. I'm already an end-of-life doula for animal companions, which means that I help people prepare for the eventual crossing of their animal companion. There's a couple other pieces that go along with that, but I'm also there to help support when the time comes for an animal companion to cross. So that part I've already got. Many of you may not know, most of you who are regulars on the channel do know that I went through my own personal loss back in early November when my husband passed, and I now think of him lovingly at the Rainbow Bridge with our beautiful animal companions. That heals my heart more than I can possibly say, and the reason that I bring it up is because Pat brought it up also. So what I am going to be doing is working with humans. I'm taking a training course for assisting humans and their families when the time for end of life approaches, because after what I went through with my husband, what we're going to talk about that I went through with Noah, it's the same thing. All the decision making, the suddenness, the confusion, the being caught completely unawares and not having anybody to help you through that. We're going to talk about all that. So yes, Pat, my end of life pet doula training has been long done, and I now teach that myself. But it's my work with humans that is going to be new. And I haven't started it, won't start till February. Are you still contemplating writing a book? Always. I'm always contemplating writing a book. I have got lots of small PDFs and workbooks that I've published, but am I thinking about writing a book about all the animals that I've worked with? Yes, I am. I just have to be able to clone myself in some way, but we'll figure that out. I know, I trust that when the time is right, all of those pieces will fall together. And practical tips for dealing with the loss of a pet. Yes, that is what I want to do. I haven't done it yet. Have you seen an increase in veterinary services offering Reiki for animal healing? The answer to that is 100% yes. More than veterinarians offering it, I am finding people requesting it from their veterinary staff. And I'm teaching an animal Reiki class right now on Saturdays, and I have veterinary staff in the class. So I know 100% that it is becoming, while it may not be close to even being mainstream yet, it is something that is becoming more and more common. And Reiki for animal companions, no matter where they are, whether it's just for an illness or an injury, whether it's for anxiety or their own kind of depression and loss, it also helps to ease pain, trauma, and aging and end of life. But Reiki is a way to help bring balance to an animal's body so that it can, so that their body can remember what it needs to do to heal. And that's just it in a nutshell. But this reminds me that I'm going to try to do a series. Right now, it's one person, and that's all it takes. That's the start. There is a veterinarian. Her name is Dr. Stephanie Duno. She's known as Dr. Duno. Play on words there, Dogtor, Dr. Duno. And she and I are going to be recording an interview on the 23rd of January. I'm not going to publish it on the 23rd because I'm going to want to clean it up a little bit, make sure everything's all pretty for you guys. But she is going to talk about her work now becoming a mobile veterinarian and with a specialty in-home euthanasia. So she is going to be working very closely with families who have to, number one, make that difficult decision, and number two, then working with them as that decision is carried out. And we're going to talk about everything. So if you have questions that you would love to ask a veterinarian about Reiki, she is a Reiki master, an animal Reiki master. She also practices Chinese medicine, all types of alternative in addition to traditional Western veterinary medicine. So if there's any question that you would like to ask a veterinarian, I'd love for you to ask me. Send it to me. Send it to my Read for My Pet email address. Read, READ, the number 4, mypet@gmail.com. Read for mypet@gmail.com. Send me any of your questions. Channel members always get priority. So if there's something that you would like to know about in-home veterinarians who work with animal companions at end of life, if there's anything about anticipatory grief, about changing the narrative around death, that is part of my objective with this channel is even more than sending messages of hope and healing. It's hoping that we can shift the entire conversation that we have about the passing of our animal companions, because I know deeply in my heart that our animals remain right by our side, that the end of a physical body does not mean the end of their existence. It doesn't mean the end of their soul, and they are connected to us, tethered to us, soul to soul, forever and ever. So we will be we're going to talk about all that stuff because Dr. Duno is right on board with all that also. So thank you for asking that question, Pat, because it really opened things up for us. And Pat, please accept my condolences on the passing of your ex. And I know that no matter what the relationship is with people in our lives, when they cross, it changes. It changes us in a way that when my husband crossed, I can't begin to tell you the things that have changed. And maybe at some point I will discuss those. Right now, they're all still very personal. But things that change. So it does my heart good also, Pat, to know that they are with our animal companions. They're with our animal companions so that they're not alone and our animals aren't alone. So the people in our lives that have crossed and our animals who have crossed, they are together and they are also still with us. So you're watching the replay. If you let me know if you have any questions. That is also something I should point out. In the comments during the live stream, there's lots of conversation going on between each other, questions that are getting asked of me that I try to answer. But if you are watching this as a recording, come back and ask questions. I check comments regularly. I get notifications whenever anyone posts a comment or question, and I try to respond to each and every one. Sometimes they're on videos that are like 5, 7 years old. I think I started recording sporadically maybe 5 years ago, and it's been regularly every week. This live stream has been just about every week for the past 2 years. This is year 3. So I love to respond to your questions. If something comes up, there's no difference. There's no time, there's no space, there's no geography. I'll know when that question is, and no matter when it happens to be, even if it's 5 years from now, I'll know that you need to have that question answered, and I will go back and answer it for you. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. Any other questions coming up? Who are we missing here tonight? Charlie. Where's our Charlie this evening? So we'll see if we can, so Charlie, if you happen to catch us on the replay, hello to you too. We miss you and we hope to see you on the next video. There she is. Oh, he or she. I really don't know that. I shouldn't say, I don't know why I think it's a she. Charlie, there you go. Hello, it's good to see you. And did I miss anybody else? No. Okay. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. Wish I knew you before Pockets passed. Z, that I get that comment a lot, that people wish they had known that such a thing existed, to be an end-of-life pet doula. And the only way that I can address that, because I've only done this for probably 3 years now that I've been an end-of-life pet doula. It's not something that's very common. And my goal is that we will make it more and more acceptable. So I reach out to veterinarians, I reach out to aftercare facilities, I reach out to anybody I possibly can. And while they still aren't openly accepting of it, it's becoming more and more common. And every single animal companion is on their own journey. So Z, even though you and I did not know each other before Pockets crossed, I know that Pockets is the one who helped connect us, right? We know this, that Pockets and all of your beautiful animal companions helped bring us together so that we can spread the word. They are amazing teachers, and they are helping us to make this experience of transition from here in the physical to the non-physical, one that is not nearly as traumatic, even though I'm going to share a little bit about why it can be traumatic, but also ways in which we can help overcome the feeling of being traumatized, and holding on to that space of love. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Elaine, I had that in mind when I sent you my friend's info. I'm not 100% sure, Jody, what we're going with, but because when I start talking, sometimes, I always make notes. You guys know me. I always do my automatic writing prior to a class start, but sometimes the words just flow. Yes, there you are. It is a girl. Hi, Charlie. I thought so, but you never know, right? So, Luckiest paw friend in the world, Nico. Yep, Nico rocks. Oh, that also reminds me. So I'm doing videos. I'm doing a series of shorts. So they're YouTube shorts that are going to be honoring all of your beautiful animal companions. And that's because it's celebrating that we hit 10,000 Soul Pet subscribers. So I'm working on them now. I got all these amazing photos. I've downloaded all the photos. I'm working, putting them together into beautiful little videos. But if anybody has missed that boat and you would like your animal companion to be included in these shorts, if I don't already have it. So if you've asked for a reading before, usually have photos, but you can reach out just to confirm. And it's the same thing. My public email is readformypet@gmail.com. Um, thank you. Thank you, Z. You guys, I wouldn't be here without your animal companions and without you guys. This is a community. While I am the voice, right? I'm the one who speaks for our animals and holds us all together. You guys are the backbone. You're the backbone, and your animal companions are the backbone of this channel. So let's talk about this. We are going to be talking about Noah. Noah is my grand dog who crossed on the Saturday after Christmas, and it was unexpected. And that's what I really want to focus on this evening, is the unexpected component of it. When the passing is unexpected, even though Noah was 14, and even though he was an old gent, he was living a long, beautiful life. His crossing was unexpected. And we went from we were just having the most fun Saturday. It was the Saturday after Christmas. It was myself, my daughter, my son-in-law. We were hanging out. We were just having a beautiful day. And it went from being a beautiful day to instantly turning into something that was so far from beautiful. It was almost instantaneous, the switch. And that unexpectedness took us off guard. And I'm going to talk about that because if you've ever experienced it, or if you haven't and you may experience it, it leaves you feeling completely turned inside out. There's no way to describe that, but I don't want us to focus on the trauma of it. I do want this to be a message of hope and healing, and that's how I really want to address this. Because our animal companions, we know from, if you've seen any of my videos, each animal companion is on their own journey. The manner in which they transition is their own. It's not something they focus on, like they don't do like we do. They don't sit around and pre-plan what it's going to be like when they cross. They don't focus on that part of it, which also helps me deliver this message in a little bit different way. But even so let me just go back to where I was. Even though our soul pets may be older, they may be aging, they may be approaching end of life, our logical mind is prepared for what that transition may be. But when it comes abruptly and unexpectedly, it's a shock to our system. We're stunned, literally stunned. As I mentioned, we're going from in one moment we were all happy and laughing, and the next moment we were not. And within an hour, the whole situation had turned. And that's what I want to talk about, the suddenness, the burst of adrenaline, because we were then rushing to an emergency vet, that surge, right, of adrenaline, and the complete sense of disbelief, like this can't be real, this can't be happening. What was not being able to understand, comprehend the circumstances that are going on, and then the feeling of being thrown into decision making when you were completely unprepared. So that's really what I want to talk about, that feeling of being stunned. So I think that this is where people carry a lot of silent pain. I'm going to look at the comments in just a second. I see them scrolling by pretty fast. I think this is where people carry a lot of silent pain, because all of a sudden they were one way, and then the next moment their whole lives have been turned upside down. And there's a lot of emotions that go along with that. But I also want to share a lot of Noah's story about, and we're going to talk more about how my training as an end-of-life animal companion doula kicked in, how my training as an animal chaplain kicked in, and was able to keep things calm, because even if I did not know you guys before the passing of your animal companion, there's still a role that I can play as a chaplain, and it's still something that you can share with other friends, family members, anybody who may be looking for support. And and we'll talk more about that in just a moment. But I want to talk about the silent pain that people carry when it comes to decision making, not understanding what's happening, the feeling of confusion. But I'm going to check the comments real quick first. Um, Still need to send in new pictures of Gary Potato. Go ahead. Yep. Um, you can continue to send me pictures because I want to play with the videos. I'm really having a lot of fun with this, and I want to make them something fun and memorable that you can download and keep and hang on to for your animal companions. Did I not say hello to Nunya? Hey, Nunya. Cheryl, how you doing? Ms. Nunya, New York business. It is great to have you here. And somebody, Z, I think it was Z, who brought up the fact that we haven't laughed about the nuns in a while. So maybe we'll find a way to weave that into the conversation tonight because we haven't laughed about the nuns in a while. Me being the I call it recovering Catholic. I try not to be too judgmental, but yeah, every once in a while the nuns creep into our conversation because I went to traditional strict Catholic school taught by nuns for many, many years. Thinking about Mew Mew. The name always pops into your head at random times. Isn't that nice? Yeah, Mew Mew, and I've got some videos and some pictures to post of Mew Mew also, so that everybody can get a sense of what Mew Mew looks like. Okay, so everything looks to be good. The nuns tend to weave themselves in, yeah, however they want. The nuns the nuns tend to find a back door into our conversation. Let's talk about what we went through. And I'm using Noah as the example so that we have a framework for how to have this discussion. We went from having a very beautiful little evening, we had a great day, to all of a sudden everything going south. I actually had gone to the grocery store. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. And I'm going to try to keep it in a way that is not, that is still soft and gentle and tender and treats with respect Noah's memory and also his mama and his papa. But I was in the grocery store. I had ran to go get us some snacks, and I got a call in the grocery store from my daughter who said, something horrible has happened. Mom, something horrible has happened. I couldn't imagine. I was gone for 5 minutes. And she said, I need to take Noah to the emergency vet. Something has happened. And there was a veterinarian right next door to the grocery store where I was. I popped my head out and they were closed. It was the Saturday after Christmas. So we knew that we were going to have to go to the emergency vet. She comes and picks me up. I just left my car in the parking lot of the grocery store. I'm holding Noah in my lap as she's driving. And that's another piece of this that I didn't really bring into all of this is what do you do in that situation? It was difficult for her to concentrate on the drive. In the end, we kind of talked about how we wished we had switched places. That comes into the second guessing. There's a lot of second guessing that goes on when you are thrown into a situation like this. And so we were driving, this, again, not meant to hurt your heart. We are driving at the speed of light to get to the emergency vet. We are doing everything possible at this point to help Noah at least remain with us until we could get to the emergency vet for advanced care. Um, and I didn't know what was happening. So I personally was able to rely on my background and my training. It kicked right in. I'm immediately doing Reiki. I'm immediately sharing space and holding space and talking to him and letting him know that everything's going to be okay, no matter what. Everything is going to be okay, no matter what that looks like. It's all going to be fine. And I'm trying to keep my daughter focused, trying to keep us focused. Of course, we're a basket case as we are getting to the emergency vet. So then what happens? We don't know what's happening. And then when we get to the veterinarian, we are asked a whole series of questions. There are decisions that have to be made. We have to give them instructions. We have to tell them what we want. We were acting on incomplete information. And then there was pressure, the pressure of, and you can hear it in my voice, the pressure of, am I doing the right thing? What am I supposed to do? What should we do? Do we wait? Because it was the two of us and my son-in-law was not there. And Noah is my son-in-law's dog of 14 years. What kind of decisions do we make? There was so much pressure, so many tears. The tears were flowing. The veterinarian was wonderful. The veterinary staff was wonderful. The technicians were wonderful. So I am so grateful to them for also helping to keep us grounded and centered. So these are the things that come up. And what happens is you begin to second guess. You begin afterwards. So after everything is said and done, you begin to second guess. Did I make the right decision? Should I have done X, Y, or Z? Why didn't I do this or that? How did I let this thing happen? That carries with it a different kind of guilt. It is not necessarily the guilt of making a decision about end of life, but the guilt of all the should have, could have, would have, the regrets, the guilt, I'm going to use the word shame because that's what I want to talk about next. And don't worry, I am going to share with us how we can let go, how we can release all of that and shift it into something different. All right, let's talk about the hindsight that really creates this silent pain, and not just the silent pain, but the out loud pain, the gritting your teeth pain, the why did I do this? Why didn't I? That kind of pain. Hindsight is what does that. When we look back, what we are doing and what we did that night, we made every best possible decision with Noah's best interests at heart. Everything we did was from a space of love. My ears are ringing. That I always take that as a sign that I'm receiving more messages. And specifically, it's my right ear that's got that ringing sound. So the pressure of doing the right thing, the hindsight that creates the unnecessary pain, we did the best we could at that moment in time, especially when it is made from a place of love. Our heart, no matter our hearts, no matter how broken they were feeling, how twisted and awful it was feeling, we were making decisions from love. And when you make decisions from a place of love, you cannot make the wrong decision. It can't happen. Love takes over for everything. Love is the fabric that holds it all together. Love is what keeps us connected even after they cross. And when you make decisions from a place of love, even when you're not sure, even when you are uncertain, even when it is the last decision that you possibly want to make, when it's made from a space of love, everything will work out. Everything will work out. So I'm going to go back. We're going to revisit this guilt thing. Last week, I did talk about guilt, and I'm going to share this again, the message that I shared at the end last week, because it was important. And we were talking about so many different things that it was at the very end of the video that I shared this message. And I think it's important enough to restate this. I used to teach, and somebody called me out on this in a different video that's like 3 or 4 years old. And I'm going to go put a comment. I'm going to pin a comment to that video, because Noah changed my mind on guilt in a way that I never expected. I used to teach that guilt, that we had dense emotions, that there was grief and there was guilt and there was remorse and there was regret, and all of those dense emotions hold us down here. When our animal companions cross to the other side, the rainbow bridge, heaven, the non-physical, whatever you want to call it, when they pass out of their physical body, they do pass into this space of pure, positive love. It is the purest, most wonderful, sweetest. I don't even think we can imagine what it feels like until it comes our time to cross this beautiful space of love. And from teachings that as I was coming into my own spiritual awakening, as I was learning all these things, I would follow someone who I still feel very strongly for, Abraham Hicks. And Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, would teach that there's two sides to every stick. And that the lower side, the grief stick, holds us down here. And we can't just get to that positive love state. And that resonated with me at the time. And I would teach that we need to find a way to raise ourselves up. We need to find our way to take baby steps, little steps, one day at a time, that would help us rise out of the grief and the guilt, that would bring us to a space where we could at least connect with our animal companion. They couldn't see us when they were up here because we were so mired in what we were hanging on to. Noah taught me that we have shifted away from that. If it used to be true, it is no longer true. Our beautiful animal companions on the other side of life, they don't care about the grief, they don't care about the guilt, they don't care about the regret. It's not there for them. They will zoom right down from heaven into our hearts, and they will hold us and love us and show us and send us signs instantly, and there's no time frame on the other side. They'll keep on rocking and rolling. They will keep on trying to get through to us until we are in a place where we do see it. They started sending signs immediately. I'm going to talk about Noah's sign towards the end of this little video. But there's no, I'm not going to apologize, because at the time I really believed it, but I'm here to tell you that I now am going to preach a whole different thing, that our animal companions are here to be with us, help us, love us unconditionally. And that means they don't care where we are. If we're crying with our head under the covers and we don't want to get out of bed, they're gonna sneak, their little soul's gonna sneak right under the covers with us. So know that that piece that I need to restate again, and anchor it in, that I'm shifting my whole perspective about that. And it was Noah who showed me, because Noah's papa was dealing with some heavy duty guilt. We're going to talk about that in a second, the heavy duty stuff, dealing with some heavy duty guilt. And Noah showed me, he's like, don't be telling people that that they have to like dump their guilt in order to connect with us, because I'm ready to be there for my papa no matter what. I'm ready to be there for my mama no matter what. And so I happily share Noah's teaching. He opened my eyes to a whole new perspective, and I'm so grateful. Let me take a peek at comments before we talk about shame. Okay, we're talking amongst ourselves about oh, I have to go up. I see a name that I don't recognize. It will be 1 year tomorrow that you're lost your Shelty Bisbee. So I'm not sure what your name is. Please know that my heart goes out to you. All of our hearts are with you. We will hold you virtually, hug you. We understand the anniversaries. Yeah, I know maybe someday we should talk about why do we honor those anniversaries, but I remember my anniversaries. I remember December 1st for my beautiful Jack. And in August, the dates that were Lucy and Winston, and why, well, anyway, regardless. Yes, the anniversaries can be tough times because it brings up memories that we thought we might have managed to work through. But I will share this with us. Our animal companions, this comes from Noah also. Our animal companions don't want us to remember the way that they passed. They don't carry any memory of it. The manner in which they crossed is irrelevant. It's irrelevant to them. Busby, okay. Bisbee was a Busby. Oh, I love that. And Rosie. Okay, so we're talking amongst ourselves. Know that you guys can, and Mew Mew. I love that you guys support each other so much in all of the comments. I've kind of lost my train of thought now as I was looking at that. Okay, don't remember, but oh, the anniversaries. So yep, we know that anniversaries can be tough. And if it happens to be the anniversary of your animal companion's passing, again, no matter when in the period of time you're watching this video, know that you're held. Know that everybody here is virtually hugging you, even if they've never seen you, met you, heard of you before. We are here to hold you up. Let's talk about shame. There was something that came up when Noah passed. And I know that this is not just in Noah's situation. The shame was not being present at the moment. And what does that mean? Like all of a sudden, here's how I look at this. Love, first of all, is not measured in the final moments of our animal companion's life. Love is not, I'm going to say it again, love is not measured in the final moments of our animal companion's life. Love is measured in the beautiful lifetime that we gave them. And those last final moments are not the ones that they want us to focus on. They're not the ones they want us to dwell on. They want us to remember not that moment that caused us pain. They want us to remember the life we shared with them, the amazing fun we shared with them, the funny things that they did, the way that Lucy would step on my toes and hurt me. The way that Lucy would step on my toes, the way that Lucy would drool, the way that Winston Snuffleupagus. He had this little snort. He was a King Charles Cavalier, and he had heart disease, and he would make this little snorkeling noise. Those are the things they want us to remember. They want us to remember how we could scoop them up and hold them. That's what they want us to remember. If something happens that we cannot be present with them at the moment that they cross, the first thing I would say is that we honor their journey, that every animal companion, their soul and their soul connection to our divine creator, whatever that higher power is for you, they're on their own journey. And sometimes we have no say in how that happens. But let's say there's an example where all of a sudden you realize you're thrown into this situation. It's completely unexpected or not. It could be something where you have worked closely with someone and now the veterinarian has come into your home or you're at the veterinarian's office and all of a sudden you realize that you can't be present for one more minute, that you can't be there for one more minute. There are moments, how do I put this? There are moments when our human hearts just reach their limit. We've had as much as we could take, whether it is because of the suddenness of the event and we are just so overwhelmed and so wishing that this weren't happening, that we weren't in like a movie, like we're watching a movie, that this is not happening to me. How can this be happening to me? How can this be happening to my dog? How can this be my kitty cat? How can this be my horse? And all of a sudden our heart and our mind just says, I can't do it anymore. I can't take one more second of this. We are unable to witness that. From that moment on, we're unable to be a witness to the pain. Don't worry, I know, like it's making my voice crack even talking about it, but I'm going to bring it back to center for just a minute because we have hope. Could be one thing. We may be hoping for the miracle. We may be just too stunned or overwhelmed, and it's like all the circuits have all that we've short circuited. All the circuits have just stopped. We are in a state of disbelief, and our hearts are then protecting us. It's like our heart says, okay, we are just going to regroup here. And here's the most beautiful thing. Our animal companions, they know, they understand. They don't see things through the human lens. They do not see, that's the best way to put it. They don't see things through the same lens that we do. So now, the urgency of the situation is over. The decisions have been made. We may be sitting in a private little room as we were with Noah. And that's when the mind kicks in like, I should have done something differently. I should have done this. I should have done that. Things moved so fast. Why couldn't I have seen what I really wanted was to hold my beautiful kitty cat, was to be there in the stall with my horse, was to all of these things. We start second guessing. And I'm here to not just give you my forgiveness, I'm here to tell you that there's nothing to forgive. That what every animal companion wants us to know is that there is nothing to forgive. A missed moment, that's so human. That's the message I get from all of our beautiful animal companions. Maybe that's what the ear ringing was. Like, oh, you silly little humans. It's so human of you to think that we're going to hold you responsible for that. We had them, I know for certain with Noah, his passing was peaceful. His passing was peaceful. He had angels with him. He had other animal companions with him. And you guys know what I tell you. He did not just have that. He had you with him. Even if the physical version of yourself in your body was not present with your animal companion at the exact moment they crossed, the greater portion of your soul that exists in the non-physical, the greater part of you, that higher self, that self who watches us as we're doing what we're doing, was right there with your animal companion. They are not ever alone. They do not ever cross without you by their side. It is always, you are always there with them. Um, and they want us to know that they would rather us not focus on the past. And already that event is in the past. They would love for us to focus on them as they are now. That was the message from last week. The message from last week is that they just want us to love them unconditionally. And that means the way they are right now, outside of their furry little body. That is how they would like us to focus on them and know that they're right with us. So that's why they instantly start to send us a sign. We're going to get to the signs in just a moment. I got to keep an eye on the time. I'm not paying any attention as I'm chit-chatting. Okay, we're good for time. I'm just going to check comments real quick one more time. Um, mm, 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 mm. Hello, Lady Lemon, Lady Leomon, not sure. After Kai left me, it felt like all the good memories were blurred out, and I can only see those final days. When those things happen, oh, I thank you, Charlie. At least I was with you when I died. Uh, Nico told you that. I keep thinking about the life of pets and that white Pomeranian, if you take care of the little white toy with her. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let you guys talk amongst yourselves for that because I'm not sure where that whole conversation is going. Here's what I'm going to share about what I see from two of the comments. They don't want all the good memories to be blurred out. They would love for us to remember the good ones. They don't want us to remember the final moments, right? It's human. It's very, very human because it's a trauma. Your body is going through a trauma when you experience that. When we went through what we went through with Noah, 1 minute everything was fine, the next minute nothing was fine, and within 60 minutes, within an hour, our lives were turned upside down. That is a trauma. And that trauma is held inside your body. It's held deep inside you sometimes. Sometimes we push it all the way down, but it is a trauma that's held inside your body. It's why you're triggered then, and the things that you remember are the moments that cause the trauma. So we try to release that trauma. I am not a psychologist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a trauma-informed care person, but I understand what it is because of what I've been through personally. What I do is turn to them. I turn to my beautiful animal companion on the other side. And this takes, maybe it's a leap of faith, but I don't think so. Our animal companions, their soul doesn't go anywhere. You've heard me say this many times, and I'll keep saying it for as long as it needs to be heard. They don't fly off to the Rainbow Bridge, some distant place where the sun shines endlessly. They have all the food and water they need, and they sit over there waiting for us to pass so that we can join them at the Rainbow Bridge. It's a lovely thought, but it's not how I understand it to be. How I understand it to be is that when they leave their physical body, it's just the physical body that is done. Their soul, their spirit, their essence, the thing that we love the most is still right with us. We are connected heart to heart, soul to soul. And you can say to them, please show me. Please show me. And we're going to talk about signs in just a minute. Please show me how to let go of the trauma. And the thing that you're going to feel first, I call it a relief. It's not even peace. It's a feeling of relief that flows into your heart. And sometimes it's the briefest flash. And all of a sudden you go, whoa, wow, I just had a moment where everything was okay. It was just a moment where everything was okay. Guess what that is? That is the best sign that your animal companion can give you. You can see a shooting star. You can see a rainbow. You can have feathers float down out of the sky. You can find a dime underneath their water bowl. There's any number of signs. We're going to talk about those in just a minute that you can see. But the best sign you can receive is that feeling of relief, because that lets you know that their soul, their energy, their essence is real. Once you feel it once, you can just keep going back to it again and again and again. Our animal companions have endless patience. They're now in a place where time doesn't make any difference to them. And even if you're thinking to yourself, well, I've never received a sign, I've never had that feeling, they're not on the other side tapping their little foot going, boy, I wish you'd pay attention. They have endless patience, and they will continue to get through to you. And the more you watch, and I think anyway, and you guys can jump in if that's the case. I mean, if you would like to give some feedback, the more everybody stays connected in this community, the more we get those signs, and the more we get those feelings, and the more it becomes easier and easier to let go of that memory of the trauma. Okay, so I think we're talking about movies now. I'd love to know what movie. So you guys, thank you so much for and Somebody is seeing a grief therapist, and allow yourself to actually feel the feelings, all of them. Absolutely, 100%, Kali. That's also what Noah showed me when he told me that we don't have to worry about, don't tell anybody that they should like rise above the grief. Feelings, we're meant to feel them for a reason. We are human beings and we come with a whole set of complex feelings. And I think it's part of the human experience that we have those feelings. So you feel them and you lean into them and you trust that your animal companion is there to literally, spiritually, energetically hold your hand as you go through the process of healing. And little by little, it becomes easier and easier. Okay. Um, So, what can also help? Having someone to be there for you. I am an end of life animal companion doula. So it's an end of life doula for animal companions. It's a mouthful. There's no there's no other title for it. It's just a mouthful. I work with families and their animal companions as they approach end of life. It helps them hold space during the chaos. So that's what I did with Noah, was literally hold space during the chaos. When we were feeling all the upheaval, somebody needed to be grounded. Somebody needed to be focused. Somebody needed to keep people moving in a certain direction. Somebody needed to help them, well, later on, in my role as animal chaplain, kind of translate those emotions, understand what they meant, understand what they felt. But as an as an animal companion, end of life doula, I'm there to assist families at the end of life, to help them, number one, prepare. Number two, if there was nothing to prepare for, to hold the space for them, to help them work through the decisions, to keep everybody calm as the veterinarian comes in and we have to make certain decisions. And if you're preparing in advance to help you understand the things that you're going to need to know, the things that you're going to experience, the things that you're going to go through, even though until you start experiencing them, it's not the same thing, but to at least help you know that you have a logical sense of what's going to happen, even when the emotions all kick in. Having been there myself on the human side, logically knowing what was going to happen, and then having to deal with the emotion of it. I wish that I had had an end of life doula there by my side for my personal loss. But that's what an end of life pet doula does, is kind of help prepare. And then what I did, and this will lead me into the signs. What I did, not only for Noah, but for all of the beautiful animal companions that I've had the opportunity to work with, especially in person over the years, was I held, and I don't want to say this in a way that hurts anyone's heart. I honored him with reverence. So even after his soul had crossed, his spirit was now in this energetic field that flows to, through, and around us. Still, he's already making connections. I know it, already making connections with his mama, already making connections with his papa. We needed to honor his remains. And that was my job. So my job was to make sure that when people are not able to, it's hard when people are not able to honor the body of a loved one, that there is someone there that they trust, someone who they know is going to take the utmost care. And I said prayers, and I held him in my arms, and I made sure that every step of the way he was cared for in reverence. So even when Mama and Papa went home, I made sure from that moment forward, everything done was done with the utmost respect and the utmost care and the utmost love. And I even took some beautiful pictures for peace of mind, to know that everything was done, that he was still being loved, and up until the very last moment. And then you guys know that for a long time, I worked for a pet funeral home, and I also made sure that that was done with the utmost care, that everything was done with the most respect that we possibly could. And just to be the steady presence that a family may need at that point in the care of their animal companion is what I wanted, for Noah and for all of your animal companions. And then as an animal chaplain, so what does an animal chaplain do? An animal chaplain, what do you do? Marry animals? Somebody once said that to me. What do you do? Marry dogs? Well, I mean, I would if you wanted me to, but no, that's not what I do. What I do is then hold the emotional space for the family afterwards, to be the steady place, to be the place where you can come and express all of your emotions and all of your grief, which is where the shame came in. You can express that to me without judgment, without judgment, and feel the feelings and say anything that you need to say. Do and say anything that needs to be done and said, because I will hold that safe space and I will keep that space for you. And then continue to help. Continue to help if you need prayers that need to be said. If you, and not everybody is the kind that prays. If you just want someone to help you remember in reverence, to help set up a memorial, to help write a poem, to help create little memories, to help do whatever it is that you would like, whether it is the day after or if it's something that you decide that you can't deal with for weeks. That happens. I've seen it at the pet funeral home. Weeks would go by, and we cared for every single animal companion's remains with total respect and love, holding on to them, loving them, honoring them every single day until human mama and papa were ready. So we will, and we will. That is what an animal chaplain does. An animal chaplain takes that extra step and makes sure that you and your family and your animal companion know that they are loved and cared for, and we are a steady presence. And even if it's just an ear to listen and to let you vent and to let you get it out, that is what an animal chaplain does. That among other things. So I want to tell you about what happened as I was caring for beautiful Noah. We decided this is a beautiful story, and it's about signs. I see comments scrolling by at the speed of light, so I'm going to trust that you guys are just talking amongst yourselves, because especially there's a couple of you, Kali, Cheryl, you guys all know, like to shout out, Elaine, animal regulator, you got to take a look at this comment. All right, so I want to tell you about the sign. And I am a firm believer. I don't just believe, I know that signs are real. I've seen them so many times. I've seen them. One of the most beautiful ones is Annie, a beautiful little Cocker Spaniel, who crossed in the mountains of Colorado, and I was been the one who transported her beautiful little remains. I have her little body in a blanket with me. We're driving down the mountain, and the middle of the beautiful sunshiny day, double rainbow. I know those signs. I understand them. I see them. I trust them. I believe them, until the moment that it comes to your own, right? And that there's this little voice in the back of my head going, but will I really get a sign? So I have beautiful Noah with me. Mama and Papa have gone home, and I've taken on the responsibility of honoring beautiful Noah's little body. I have him sitting in my lap, wrapped in a beautiful blanket. He's actually on there's a little seat next to me. He's right there. I have my hand on him, and I say to Noah, Noah, I would really love a sign. And I actually said, Noah, it would be really cool if I could see a shooting star. And there's this little tiny voice in the back of my mind going, I don't know that I tell people that, but will it really happen for me? Even though I saw signs instantly. Jack, Winston, Lucy all sent me signs. This little voice of doubt creeped into the back of my mind. And I said, I am going to put a song on. There's a song that I love to play. It's called Child. Oh, I can't think of the name, but anyway, it's a beautiful little song I love to play about going spiritually, going back home, beautifully remembering who the beautiful child you are, and you're on your little journey. So it's a beautiful, comforting song that I love. And I said, I'm going to put on this song, and Noah, I will take whatever sign you want, even if it's just 3 digits on my odometer that comes across as 222 or 111. I'll take whatever sign you want to give me. And I'm driving on a highway. It's very dark. I turn on the song, I place my hand on Noah, we're driving down the road. The brightest shooting star I have ever seen shoots across the sky. It was freaking amazing. And I started to laugh. I was laughing like a goofy fool. I'm laughing and looking at Noah going, oh my Lord. Thank you for quelling if there was any even lingering doubt. How could there be a doubt now? It was an enormous shooting star. It just shot across the highway. If anybody's familiar with 470 in outside of Denver, Highway 470 between Green Mountain and Golden. This beautiful shooting star flies across the sky, and I just got this grin, and it made my heart was singing even after all of what we'd been through. My heart was like, oh my! I just loved every moment of it. It made me so. It just filled my heart with love to know that Noah sent me that sign. And there's no way that you can call it coincidence. There's absolutely no way. And I just wanted to shout. I wanted to talk to everybody in every car by me. I wanted to say, did you see that shooting star? Because that was Noah. That was Noah. And then I asked for a message. And you guys can do this too. When you see a sign, they are not just signs, they are often messages. It's not just a hello, I'm here. It is sometimes meant to be followed up with, I've got a message for you. And here was Noah's message. I told his mama and papa this, so we'll see what happens with this. The message I got was, that was not just a shooting star. That was me. I'm already back. Sorry, it makes me cry. So a little bit to think about. Happy tears, happy, happy, happy tears. The message that came through loud and clear was, that was not just a shooting star. That was my soul returning. I'm already back and I'm ready, and I will find my mama and papa. And I didn't get any more. Like I didn't get any information, any sign about how that was meant to happen. I just got that it happened. And reincarnation is a topic for another day, because reincarnation happens in a million different ways. Noah can still be in spirit and soul, energetically right by your side at the same time that a part of him is already back inside of another little puppy. So I just received that beautiful message, and I want to talk a little bit more about how those signs work. Signs happen. So I'm looking at all the comments here real quick. All right, so you guys just keep talking about yourselves and talking about yourself amongst yourselves. I want to talk real quick about signs. Signs are helping you to shift the energy. So it's not just the sign that says, I'm here. So the sign that says, everything's fine, I'm all good. That can be one of the reasons behind a sign, or a sign that that I'm right with you, just a sign that everything is okay. And signs can be anything. Now, I'm reading this book. This is why I think we'll talk more about signs in the coming weeks once I get through this book. I'm just going to show it to you guys. And there's a lag on my side. I can't see on the camera if you guys can see this, so I'll tell you what it's called. It's called Signs, The Secret Language of the Universe by Laura Lynn Jackson. And it is mostly it's about people. She is a psychic medium. Okay, I can see myself now with the book. She's a psychic medium, and she works with people who have crossed to the other side. And it's a collection of stories. I've only just begun it. It's a collection of stories of experiences of people saying, this is a sign that I got, this is a sign that I got, and the meaning behind the signs that they have. So signs can come, and there's a couple really cool stories in here. There's one or two things I don't agree with that I read in the beginning of the book, like the fact that the clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsmelliance, clairgustance, all the clairs, that they are that they're unique, special gifts to different people, because I know that we all have them. We all have extra senses, but also a topic for another day. Maybe we'll do all that in one week, the reincarnation and the ESP stuff. Signs do come immediately after passing. When my clients are open to it, I let them know, just look right away. Look right away for a sign. So if I've been working as in my capacity as a doula, and we are all prepared, and as we have been many times, we're all in home, comfy, getting everybody ready. I tell them, just watch for the sign immediately. And if it's not within a minute, look for it like very, very shortly after your animal companion crosses to the other side, and be open to the possibility that it's anything, but it usually is something that you'll recognize right away. You won't be able to dismiss it as coincidence. It'll be something that you see right away. So I've only had one real sign since Kai left. Dreamed he was sleeping on the lion blanket he shared with his siblings. Dreams are usually one of the hardest signs to get, because our dream state is very complicated. We've done other videos on dreams, so that is a beautiful sign. And now I'm gonna once I get more and more of these signs, there's some unusual signs in here that even I have never thought of as many times as I've thought about signs. So I'm going to share them with you. It could be the smell of oranges. It could be the smell of I don't know, dog poo. It could be anyway. I'm getting off track. So signs generally come immediately after they're crossing, so you can keep an eye out for them. If you don't see a sign, it's not that they're not there, and it's not that you missed it. You can't miss anything. That is something, again, so human. You cannot miss the moment. They will continue to reach out to you as often as they want to, as often as they can, because their goal is to get your attention. And it's because they want you to know that they are still with you. This is a shared journey. You decided even before you came into this body, you knew who your animal companions were going to be. We forget when we are born, we forget everything and we relearn it all. But you're forever tethered soul to soul and heart to heart. So don't be alarmed. Don't be afraid. Don't think that you're missing out. Because as of tonight, you can start receiving signs. All you have to do is ask and be open. Be open to the possibility. And it could just be simply hearing their name. It can be a song. It can be a smell. It can be the sound of drinking from the toilet, like my Jack. It can be, there's so many things. There's so many ways. Well, that's more of a topic for another day. Signs can unfold over the days, the weeks, and the months since your animal companion crosses. And there is no time restriction. So you're watching this video right now, it's 2026, January 2026, and you're watching it in August of 2028. YouTube works that way. This video just happens to pop up because you happen to type in how do I cope with the loss of my animal companion, and up pops this video. You will have the timing. It doesn't matter if it's been 2 years. It doesn't matter. The time is completely irrelevant. And you can receive a sign. So it can happen days, weeks, months, or years since the passing of your animal companion. Yeah, so Noah showed instantly, not only just a sign, but he gave me a message with that sign. I'm just checking my notes to make sure that I've got everything. Noah Star, that's what I called it, the Noah Star. Noah Star, and I can't wait. I truly cannot wait to see what my beautiful granddoggy, how he reincarnates and what he comes back to us as. And how do we know? Reincarnation, topic for another day, but I'm just going to sneak in a little bit here. How do you know? Because they will exhibit a behavior, or you will see it in their eyes. You will see it in the eyes, or they're in the most unlikely way, they'll show up in your life. And I am going to go, there was a kitty cat, I think it was Scout, right? Scout, who three times was adopted, and three times went back to the shelter because Scout knew where she had to go. God, I always forget if Scout's a he or she. Scout knew exactly where, because in real life, Scout's a she. Like the name Scout is a girl's name, but I think it was a boy. And anyway, doesn't matter. Jody, Scout knew. I can't remember where I was going with that. Lost my train of thought. Okay. Last thing I want to say about signs, because then I think we're getting pretty close to wrapping it up. Yep. Last thing I'm going to say about signs. Signs are not rewards for doing grief the right way. Signs are not rewards for you healing the right way. There is no right, there is no wrong. Every single person is going to be on their own journey. I'm looking to see if Jody's commenting. Elaine, look, see, that's what they do. They just type Elaine. Charlie, Elaine. Sometimes Nico comes into the spirit as his sick self. Sometimes him lying, him pooping. Why is that? I don't know. I can think about that a little bit, Charlie. It was Phoebe, not Scout. Okay. And Scout is a she. All right, good. My failing memory. Like I know Scout like the back of my hand. I know Scout so well, but okay. Regardless. I don't have 100% reason for that, and I'll tell you why. I also have had an occasional dream, just one. I had one dream of Lucy, and it was a very troubling dream. I'm not going to tell you what it was. It was a very troubling dream, a couple years after she crossed. And I thought to myself, why, why would I dream something like that? It was a traumatic dream about her she was passing like she was alive, and she was passing in a way that she didn't pass the first time. It was a whole different way. And I woke up thinking, I don't understand why I'm receiving that dream, because it was super vivid. I remember every last detail of the dream. And so I just kind of let it go. I know that someday I'll understand what the purpose was, but it doesn't diminish the fact that I know that, well, Lucy is the inspiration behind this channel. It was her in her first dream, the first dream that I ever had her in, when she came to me as a wolf and told me that I should be doing this. She's the one who created this channel. Literally, she's the one who created this channel in a dream. I don't let it diminish what I know to be true. I just know that for some reason it's not something that I understand, and I trust that Lucy will show me eventually what it was that I was supposed to understand about that dream. And I'll go, okay, I get it. But I don't let it hurt my heart. Even though I woke up feeling really sad after that dream and feeling really out of sorts after that dream, I just don't let it hurt my heart, and I trust my Lucy to show me the way. Okay. Yeah, I know, you guys, I crack myself up, right? Yeah, the Noah star. When I lose track of my thought, and when my brain gets a little scattered, sometimes it is what it is. There's a lot going on in there. Um, Fourth time she found her home. Okay, so Phoebe. All right. I believe that we start seeing, experiencing signs more and more as we are able to handle them. Yep, we're going to close out the bit on signs with that. We see them as we're able to handle them. And then if they become less and less, as for example, now I don't often receive signs from my 3 on the other side, because I don't need to. Like I know that they're right with me, and I know that if I ask, as I have done for my Lucy and gotten that beautiful shirt, um, I am so confident of my ongoing relationship with them that I don't need to get a sign as regularly as I needed to in the beginning. In the beginning, I wanted to see signs all the time, and I wanted to see signs for every animal all the time. Every animal who I knew had crossed to the other side, I wanted to see a sign. And I don't need it anymore, but I know that I can ask, because that's how it works. Communication with animals on the other side. Last little tidbit I'll feed you guys here. Communication with animals on the other side is not only possible, it is a two-way street. So they can send us messages and signs, and we can do the same to them. We can send signs, we can say that we love them, we can sing about them. The thing I do all the time for Jack. Jack, like you guys, had many nicknames. My Jack, I would say this thing that said, Jackaroni little pony, cheese and crackers, fried bologna. It was the stupidest little poem. I don't know where it came from, but that's what I would say. Jackaroni little pony, cheese and crackers, fried bologna. And I say it now. I'll just say it out of the clear blue. Whenever I'm thinking of Jack and the way that he would puff up his neck so that he had a mane, I would just say that little saying. So you can reach out to them and let them know that you acknowledge them, that you trust, that you know, that you will not dismiss them, that you will not forget about them, that you will not have a relationship with them, that you understand that you guys are together, and that you love them unconditionally, just the way they are, which happens to be in spirit. Okay. Last thing I wanted to close with. This is going to be my closing sentence. Let me just take one last look at the comments. I just glanced down to the video below this one, and the reader was holding a card of a cat that you had 26 years ago. Oh, hello, whoever, what P4S is. You are so welcome here, and thank you for sharing that. Okay, we're gonna close out. This is the sentence that I want to say as we close the video here. The life in their physical body may end suddenly, but their love does not. The love does not end suddenly at all. The love, if anything, expands. It expands to such a greatness that we will forever feel it surrounding us. So you don't have to worry that just because something has happened suddenly in their little body, their love does not suddenly end. It is with us forever. Okay, my friends, that wraps things up for tonight. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Thank you so much for hugging each other. Thank you so much for holding this space for each other. You guys are awesome. And until next Monday, when I see you again, may animals light your way. Goodbye, my friends.